My cats are literally looking at something while I'm in the middle of a video. Hey lovelies, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Yasmin. Thank you so much for being here. This is not my actual usual filming setup. I just wanted to do this in a more comfortable area only because of the type of video this is. But welcome, this is another tea time video. You guys seem to really love tea time videos, and I'm starting to think of different topics for tea time videos because they're just fun, because it's just, I should really call this wine time videos because literally I'm always drinking wine in these videos. I'm not drinking tea like ever. I've never drank tea on my channel. So I should really change that. But this is pretty much videos of me talking about different experiences or just different topics of me just sitting here and talking with you guys. And for today's, I'm going to be doing a tea time on my paranormal experiences. And I've had a couple, and I love talking about this kind of stuff, like paranormal, ghosts. I believe in all kinds of stuff. I believe in like another world. I believe in, you know, ghosts, and that we're able to like wander through, you know, the present and the past, and to get off, you're not a part of this. And like, I believe in ghosts, and I believe in hell and heaven and demons and possessions and aliens and things like that. I believe in all kinds of stuff. So I love talking to people about this kind of stuff because it's just so interesting just to find out different people, like what people see and what people feel, things like that. So I have a couple experiences that I want to talk to you guys about. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Sorry if you see my cats walking around everywhere. They're not used to me sitting on the floor with them, but this is like the best spot I can spot in my house that I can film. I need to button my pants. And I literally just got back from lunch and I'm like super full. Oh, I feel so much better. But if you see my two cats walking around, sorry about that. But let's start with the very beginning. So don't even think about trying to get on the chair. Hey, Luna, this is harder than I thought. Like, if you guys have cats, you know how I feel. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about, I'm going to start from the very first experience I've ever, you know, just the first one that I've ever felt and saw. So I was really young. I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. I went with my mom, I believe, and we went to an aunt's house. And in her bedroom, she had a collection of like dolls, like the porcelain dolls, you know, like the ones that they have in quinces also, that wear the big dresses and stuff. Like those kinds of dresses. So she had a collection of those. And I never really was afraid of dolls, really. I mean, I was afraid of Chucky, to be honest. But Chucky didn't look like those kinds of dolls, you know? Like, I didn't think every doll was possessed. It was just Chucky. But I remember going to her house one day, and then I think it was like, I don't know if it was a stormy night or something, but I went to her room for something, and it was kind of dark. Like, there was only like one little light on. It was kind of like a little brighter than like a candlelit room. But I remember going in there, and there was this doll specifically who sat on her dresser. And it's like one of those dressers with like the mirror on it, like one of those ones. And I remember going in there for something, and I remember turning around and I saw that doll, and I would just look at her, you know, just chilling. I was like little, I was just like curious, and I was just looking at her. And she was facing the wall or whatever. And out of nowhere, this doll turns, pretend I'm the doll, and I'm over here. This doll staring at the wall. This doll slowly turns her head and looks right at me. I ran out of that room so fucking fast. I was so terrified. I have never seen something like that before. And I was like little, okay? Like I was young. Like, I should not be looking at stuff like that. And it happened. And I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my aunt. I didn't tell anyone up until I got older. And when I did talk about it, I talked about it with my cousins, with some of my older cousins that I guess have also experienced odd, like, paranormal stuff with that doll around. Like, I remember them telling me about a story that they were sleeping at her house once, and like, I guess it was a dark and stormy night or something. Oh, that sounds so fake, dark and stormy night. But it was literally like, I think there's like a thunderstorm happening, but like, I guess that doll did the same thing where it like moves. You know, like it, like that thing was alive, okay? I do not know if she still has that doll. I haven't talked to her in a while, but ever since then, I cannot do a doll. I didn't have a quince, but I told them specifically, I don't want that kind of doll around me. Do not buy it for me. I will not take it. I will throw it away. Like, I do not want to be around those dolls. They freak me out. I don't like dolls. Like, ever since then, dolls, anything, like, they freak me out. I can't do it because you'll never know, okay? Because people can do crazy shit and they can be possessed or something, like, or have some sort of voodoo on them. I don't know. They're just crazy. I do not like dolls. They freak me out. But that was like the first ever experience that I actually, like, I saw something, like an object move. Like, I think that's the only time I actually saw something move. I don't think I've ever seen something move again, but that was the first time, and it freaked me out. Going on to my next experience, I would say I'm about 15 years old. I moved in with my aunt who had custody of me when I was like about 15. So they became my guardian, and I lived there. And the history of that house, I wasn't told until later, but I guess there was a little boy who lives there, who was very active when they first moved in, like the first few, like, I want to say year or two that they were living there, like that, like the little boy was very active. He wasn't he wasn't a mean spirit. He was just, he wanted to play. So he was a very active spirit. Like, he played with my little cousins. He wanted to get my uncle's attention. My aunt even saw him at one point. This little boy, she said specifically, he was about like her kids' age when they were there. He was a little boy with dark hair and just had a t-shirt on and stuff like that. She said she saw him in the hallway, like kind of leaning against the wall with his head kind of like this, kind of like down, you know, kind of sad. So, you know, that little boy was very active. So she's seen him before. I don't know who else. My little cousin used to talk to him too. Like my aunt and uncle were freaked out by that, but they used to talk to each other. Like, it was like scary. But anyways, I have never like seen the little boy, but I remember one night. I don't remember what night it was, but I was sleeping in the living room. I think I didn't have a room yet, so I would just sleep in the living room. So it was late at night. I think I was the only one awake. It wasn't even that late, but everybody was asleep. I think it was probably like 11 or 12. And I remember sleeping in the living room, and I was closing my eyes, trying to go to sleep, and I just felt really uncomfortable, like I couldn't sleep. I don't know why. Then all of a sudden, this very heavy, like, just feeling around me, like energy, very heavy energy around me. And I just kept tossing and turning and you know, and then I was laying this way, and this was like the back part of the couch, and I was laying the other way facing the TV. And it felt so heavy. I felt like as if somebody was literally standing on the other side of that couch and leaning over, looking at me. Literally, that's how it felt. And I was so scared, and I did not want to open my eyes. I didn't want to look up. I didn't want to lift the blanket over me. I didn't want to do it. I just literally forced myself to go to bed because I could not. It was literally so terrifying. I never felt that before. Like, it didn't feel like a little boy energy. Like, it literally felt like, I want to say it felt like an older man was leaning over and watching me trying to go to sleep. Like, it was so heavy. Oh my god, that was just awful. Like, if you guys know what I'm talking about, that feeling is just awful. I couldn't stand it. Hey, get off the chair. That was the first real time I actually felt like an energy like that, and I never felt that before. Like, it's so weird how you can tell when an energy is like more like a heavy, like bad energy, where one is a little bit lighter, but it's like not trying to harm you, you know? But anyways, after I did tell my aunt about that experience later on, that's when they started telling me about the little boy who lived there. But, you know, it didn't feel like a little boy. It really didn't. But that's when they all started telling me about their experiences in the house. So at least I knew that I wasn't the only one feeling something in that house, you know? But after a few years, like, after living there for a while, I started not feeling it anymore. It was weird, as if they disappeared. I don't know, it was weird. They do that thing where, I'm sorry if you hear all the cars out there. Like, it's so loud. I feel like it's a horrible place to film a video. But anyways, so like my family did that thing where you leave a cup of water in the front entrance. That way they don't come in and they don't like bother you, you know? That way it's more like a, I don't know what that does, but it does something like that. It's like you're supposed to put a cup of water in front of the entrance and keep refilling it. Don't know what that was, but my uncle used to do that all the time. So maybe something like that worked. I don't know what else that they did to control it. I remember my uncle telling me once that he did feel that the little boy was trying to play with him. Like he wanted him to get up so he can like play with him. But my uncle like told him, hey, no, I don't want to play right now. And he just kept telling him that. And I think maybe the little boy eventually like thought, okay, maybe I'm not wanted here. Maybe he hopefully found the light, or I don't really know about that stuff. I don't know where they go. So weird. My cats are literally looking at something while I'm in the middle of a video. I actually skipped one. There was actually a huge event that happened before I moved to my aunt's house when I was 15. So going a little backwards, because this one's a pretty important one. So for this one, I was living in Baker. I was probably about maybe 13 or 14 years old when this happened. But I was living in Baker, and that's when like a bunch of shit was about to happen in that home. That's when like a bunch of shit was happening with my dad and stuff, and it was just not great energy in there. It was in a little like double wide home. That the house was green on the outside. I'm pretty sure people who are watching that lived in Baker know exactly what house I'm talking about. But it was like the 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom one, and that one was very, I don't know. It was weird. I was sleeping in my brother and my cousin's room. My older cousin lived with us at the time, and they had a bunk bed in their room. So I remember, I think my older cousin wasn't there for some reason, and me and my younger brother were. So I ended up sleeping in their room for the night, just to hang out, whatever. And I slept in the top bunk, because I mean, sleeping in the top bunk was like the best. It was like the coolest thing to do. So I remember I went to go sleep in the top bunk or whatever, and I remember waking up. I think it was super bright early in the morning, probably like where the sun is just like rising. So I was still able to see some sunlight, but I knew it was still early morning. I remember I was laying towards the wall, and then I turned over to the other side, to get a little more comfortable, because I was starting to get uncomfortable. I'm just like, why can't I get comfortable? Why am I awake? So I was trying to get comfortable, and I remember like that moment when you open your eyes a little bit, but you're still kind of asleep, but like you're trying to stay asleep, but your eyes open. Do you know what I'm saying? Like my eyes were starting to open a little bit, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna go back to sleep, and like I can kind of see someone in the corner of the room. It was a woman dressed in all white. Like she was completely white, head to toe, skin was completely white. It looked like she had like a wedding dress and a veil, to be honest. Like that's what it looked like she was wearing. But she was in all white, and she was in the corner of the room just staring at us sleep. And I didn't think anything of it because I didn't want to get up or like, I thought, oh, maybe I'm still dreaming, whatever. So I didn't even bother trying to wake up. So I went back to sleep. So when I woke up, I think I told my mom. Yeah, I think my mom was there. My brother. I think my cousin was there now at the time. I don't remember. But I remember telling them like, hey, I kind of woke up in the middle and like earlier. I think I had a dream. I don't really know. But there was like a woman in the room. And she's like, oh. I was like, yeah, was wearing all white. And then they both look at me, my mom and my brother look at me like, okay. So my mom was like, I don't know if you remember, but do you remember telling me that you used to see a woman in white? And I'm just like, what? She's like, yeah, it's probably the woman that you saw. It's the woman in white, the woman that you see in the house. I'm like, I don't remember seeing no woman in white, but that's who I saw. So it was real then. I saw her. So it wasn't a dream. She's like, no, you actually saw the woman. I'm like, oh. That's when I started to freak out, because I'm just like, oh, fuck. Like, fuck, I wasn't dreaming. Like, holy shit, like that was real. I actually saw the woman. She was in the fucking room. She was watching us sleep, like I was freaking out. And then I guess my brother told me like, yeah, I saw the same woman passing through the hallway, and like she was like, there was like this little thing, so there was like the living room, and it was like this little break that you could put the TV on, but you could still like, it was like, it's just like a gap in the hallway that leads to like the rooms. He said that she saw her walking through there once, and she just disappeared when she reached the end. So he also saw the woman in white, and it was like, what the fuck? This lady is tripping me out. And then my cousins, my younger cousins who moved in that house after we moved out, also saw the same woman that we're talking about, the woman in white. They saw the same woman multiple times. And that's really creepy. I don't know if it was like the part of the land where that house was that was haunted. I was gonna say possessed, or I don't know. or it was the home in general, or maybe the energy in that home, because the energy got really bad after that. That's when everything happened with my dad. Like, the energy was so negative. And you know, they say that, you know, that sometimes when there's a spirit in there, it attracts negative energy, and it makes, you know, it creates more negative energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that all that happened with my dad because of a ghost. I'm not going to say that, because he had a lot of things that he, you know, was doing that was not okay. But I just feel like it just made the atmosphere a little, you know, it just made it easier for the woman. You know, it just made it so much easier. Like, she was able to put the cherry on top. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. But yeah, so there's that woman that hopefully I will never see again. Coming back to just last year, I want to say last year. So where I was working, oh my god, the camera's moving because it keeps moving. It was where I was working at, and I don't want to say it out loud, but if everybody knows where I work, then you already know where. But it was where I used to work at, and I swear I'm not the only one that has experienced things in that building, okay? Like, I'm not the only one. But in there, sometimes when I would open by myself, like, you know, like, go to the store and, like, you know, it was, like, dark in there and things like that. Like, throughout the day, when it was me and somebody else working together, I was, for some reason, there's no customers in there, by the way. Sometimes we'd be talking, no customers, we're just chilling, having a good time, trying to waste time or whatever. Sometimes you'd hear hangers. So, like, you know how hangers sound when you're out shopping and you, like, slide them across the racks, things like that? Like, sometimes you hear that noise a lot out of nowhere. And it was, like, mostly towards one spot of the store. It was, like, the back, like, left and the back room that would, you know, have some weird energy going on. But I would always hear that out of nowhere. Even when I'm by myself, I would hear, like, the hangers slide back and forth, like, as if somebody's, like, looking through them or whatever, but there's nobody there, which freaks me out. But we always try to ignore it, you know, like, don't think anything of it. It's just, like, whatever. Maybe it's just our mind playing tricks, but whatever. But we heard it quite often. It wasn't just me. It was, like, the other associates who worked there, too. Anyways, I've already had, like, weird experiences in there, so I already knew there was an energy in there that wanted my attention. So I remember this other day, one day I was walking towards the back. I think I went to the restroom, and we had, like, those metal chairs, and you can hear them when you pull them out because of the concrete floor. So you'd be able to hear it when they're getting pulled out. So they were pushed in, because I always push them in when people are done with their lunches and stuff. Like, I always push those chairs in because it bothers me. But I remember walking to the restroom, do my business, whatever. And I walk out, the chairs are still pushed in, you know, like, good, because I like to have them pushed in. I'm walking out. As soon as when I'm like a few feet away from the door, I hear the chair being pulled out. Did I turn around? No, I did not. I did not turn around. I was not about to do that. I was not about to be part of those movies. I just walked away. I'm like, nope, you are not getting my attention. Whatever you are, whoever you are, you're not getting my attention. No, thank you. So I'm like, nope. It was allowed to. It sounded like they, like, grabbed it like this and just, like, slid it across. I didn't even check. I didn't even ask. Nope. No, thank you. Now, this other time was actually the last time. It was, like, I think the week before I actually left that job. But I remember I was in the bag. I was cutting boxes for shipment and stuff. And I'm the only one back there. Like, obviously, I know what it sounds like when a box is being cut open. Like, you know, the cardboard box is being cut open. There's no music in there. There's nothing in there that would make any noises, right? It was just me opening boxes. I remember just minding my own business, just cutting boxes. And then when I stopped cutting a box like this, I heard and felt someone right here in my ear go. Everybody thinks I'm crazy when I tell them that. I swear to God, I heard somebody right here in my fucking ear and make that noise directly. Not inside, like, my ear, like, in my head. Someone was right here and did it. Like, they put their lips near my ear and did that. Like, nobody's gonna believe me. Like, who's gonna believe that? Really? Like, I was scared. I literally stood there for so long trying to figure out what the fuck I should do. Like, do I turn around? Do I call for help? Do I say something to it? I didn't know what to do. It was not fun. So I did turn around to see, if there was something on the floor, maybe some bubble wrap or something, or like tape, or maybe I dropped something and maybe it was the box cut. I was just trying to find different reasons for something to make that noise. Like, I just wanted to know, but that still didn't stop the fact that it was directly near my ear, like near this left ear. Like, what could it have been? Like, it was just freaking me out. So when I went out there, I just grabbed a bunch of shit and just took it out to the floor, and I didn't bother doing it in the back because I didn't want to be in there anymore. I'm just going to walk out, and I didn't talk about it until the next day because I was just trying to forget about it and trying not to think about it and trying to pretend that it didn't happen because it was freaking me out because I didn't want to give it attention. So that's what I did. That way it doesn't think that I want to talk about it or like try to give it attention, But that happened pretty recently, so that's scary. And lastly, I want to talk about a few random experiences that happened in my home, actually, that I'm living in right now. Just out of nowhere, this house, this house, I don't have trouble sleeping in this house, nor do I have trouble, being alone in this house. I don't have trouble, really. I don't think about that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not worried about it. But sometimes there's just weird things, like, so when we got this house, if you guys have been to my house, you already know, but when we got this house, apparently the people who used to live here, that maybe there was people living here that were very interested in clowns. So they drew a lot of clowns around the home. So in my filming room, actually, someone had drawn a giant clown head in red Sharpie. And I guess the people who were fixing up the house said that they've tried so many times to cover it with white paint. They went over and over and over, and they would still not come out. Like, they apologized so many times. Like, we really can't cover this. I'm just like, damn, red Sharpie, man, a big ass clown head. So now I have an anime poster over it, so I don't have to think about it, and I feel like it helps. So I have a giant poster over it, but there's that. There's also a bunch of clown drawings in my little shed, not my big garage, but like my little shed in my backyard. That door, I always make sure to keep it closed now, because before it would just stay open or it was like unlocked. So I make sure that it's locked and it's closed because there's also clown drawings in that one. So I make sure to leave that closed. So I remember vacuuming one night. I was home alone and it was nighttime, and I don't really mind being alone or whatever. Like I said, I'm not alone all the time, but like when I am, like when Mark has to close or like work until like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I'm home. So I don't mind that. But one day I was just cleaning the house, doing my business or whatever, and then all of a sudden, I had to vacuum my room and like my filming room, like that back part of the house, and I had to go vacuum. And I've never really had issues until this one night. For some reason, the further I went back there, the heavier it felt. It was really, like, the air was really thick. It was so odd. Like, it was really thick. And then when I went into my filming room, like, I kept trying to, like, vacuum in there, but I kept getting, like, the chills. And I just felt like somebody was watching me. Like, literally, somebody was, like, right behind me watching me, and it was freaking me out. And it just made me so uncomfortable. Like, it felt really heavy. Like, very thick air. But when I would come out here, like, the air was fine, like I'm good. I don't know if I would say that in my house, I don't think it is. I just feel like maybe there was someone passing through, and they just happened to see me, maybe, that needed to, like, pass through somehow. I mean, I feel like I sound crazy. Like, I feel like I really sound crazy right now. But literally, this is literally what I believe. Obviously, if you don't believe in this stuff, you're going to be like, oh, this is baloney, whatever. I don't think it's a baloney. I think this is true. I think it's just real. Okay, this is my experience. This is what I felt. This is what I'm telling you. So, anyways, it sounds crazy, but literally that's what I felt like somebody was doing. Because after that, I haven't felt an energy like that. So, I didn't really think of it like that. But other than that, I haven't really felt any odd things. And then, this other day, I did notice that my second bedroom, It was early morning. It was when I was getting ready for work. I usually get up like at 6 in the morning, and at 6 in the morning right now, the sun isn't up. Like, the sun's gone. Like, there's no sunrise or anything. It's like dark over here. So I came out of the shower and I walked out here to start my coffee, and I remember seeing the second bedroom light on. And I'm just like, why is that second bedroom light on? You know, like, nobody sleeps in there. Nobody's in there. You know, like, we just throw random shit in there for now. It is a bedroom. I mean, there's a bed in there, but we don't really use it if someone visits. So I remember seeing that light on. Like, I could tell the light was on. Like, the door was closed, but you could tell the light was on because you could see the light, like, around the edges of the door. Like, the light was on. And then I was like, oh, shoot, I better go turn that light off when, you know, when I remember. And then I walked over, you know, finished getting ready and blah, blah, blah. Like, I totally forgot about it. And then I had to wake up Mark because his car was behind mine. So I was waking up like, hey, like, I gotta go. Like, you need to move your car. So when I was walking by the room, I noticed that the light was off. And I'm like, hey, you forgot to turn off that light last night. And then when I asked Mark, I was like, did you turn this light off this morning? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that light was on this morning. Did you go in there last night and forgot to turn it off? Or did you turn it off this morning? He's like, I didn't touch any light. Like, I didn't, you know, like, the light, I didn't touch it. I'm like, and that's when I told him, I was like, well, that light was on this morning and now it's off. And I didn't turn it off. You didn't turn it off. So we just looked at each other like, oh, hell no. So we've kind of brushed it off ever since then. Like, we kind of just didn't talk about it again. So that's like the only weird thing that happened. Other than that, this house is not bad. Like, I love this house. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there are things wrong with it, but it's not things that are like big, you know? So those are like the only things. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys do love these tea time videos because I love filming them. I love just sitting here and talking to you guys. Like, it's literally like one of my favorite things to film besides hauls because shopping, obviously. But literally one of my favorite things to film. Let me know if you guys have any other tea time or, I guess, wine time, you know, random like chit chats types of videos you guys want to talk about. I would love to talk to you guys some more, and I love filming these videos, like I said, so I do not mind doing it. But anyways, let me know what you guys thought down below. Don't forget to hit the like button if you guys like these types of videos. And I don't know what else to tell you guys. Oh my god, tell me if you guys have any paranormal experiences you guys want to talk about, because I'm pretty sure I just feel like I sound crazy. So please help me not sound crazy. Make me not sound like I'm the only one in the world who feels like that. I mean, I know I'm not, but like I don't know a lot of people who have. But anyways, yeah, let me know. But I guess that's everything for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye!